Hello, welcome back to my channel. Just in case you're new here, my name is Kay and I make videos about planning, daily planning, home and garden planning, and budget planning. Today, I wanted to do a check-in with my home and garden planner, which is actually a binder. I moved to DIY binders several weeks ago and am really loving them. This is I repurposed materials that I had when I set up these binders. So this one is a little bit damaged and probably my least favorite binder in regard to material. But my goal was not to spend any money on it, to repurpose and reuse materials that I had. And I have been able to achieve that so far. So this again is my home and garden binder, and this is my personal planner here. I much prefer the material on the covers, but I only had, unfortunately, a couple of those, and I had two of these. I've used one for home and garden, and I've used one for stickers. So yeah, that's working out. Okay, how are you all doing? It's Sunday. You know it's not horribly early because I'm already halfway through my first cup of coffee. Cheers. And it's even lukewarm, but it is still pretty early. It's about 4 a.m. I woke up at 2:30 a.m. this morning and I've already accomplished so much. So it's been a very productive morning for me. I had to get up a little bit early this morning on Sunday because today my mom and I are going back over to my kiddos to help her pack. She has a move coming up and has needed a lot of help to prepare for that. So we're happy to do that. It is a little bit of a drive for us, but that's okay. Willing to do it. Okay, so let's take a look at this home and garden binder. Actually, let me move this out of the way. So similar to my personal planner or binder, I don't know what I should call them, I have my first page that I'm able to look at is home and garden goals. And just to remind everybody, about the 6 goals that I'm focusing on for 2025 is a sustainable lifestyle. So I'm really trying to create a lifestyle that will sustain our life choices throughout retirement. Hubby and I are in our mid-50s and we're really starting to look ahead to the retirement period of our life and what that's going to look like for us, especially financially, but also just, you know, what really came up for us is how much time and energy we have to invest in a home. So when we purchased this property a couple of years ago, it was completely undeveloped. And our goal was to build a very, very small home. We didn't want to, move into retirement with a house that required a lot of upkeep. So we're still focusing on that, and we're looking at that in regard to the gardens and just everything that we do. Simplify. I really, really am trying to focus this year on looking at how I consume and to stop the overconsumption and declutter the house. My areas where I tend to accumulate things are in the kitchen, in the bathrooms, and my office is, well, as you can see by everything I was able to repurpose here, I am carrying office supplies, I'm pretty sure from 1980. So I'm slowly working my way through that. Relationship goals. I really wanted to start to prioritize time with family and friends and focus on relationship development. Purpose. Live, I think that's a typo. Live an intentional, meaningful life with choice and freedom. For me, I'm really recognizing that the choices I make are capable of increasing the freedom and autonomy that I feel with directions that I take. So that was a big goal. Expanding the gardens, growing more fruit and veggies for animals and family. I had a period of my life when I was a younger adult where I lived on a small farm. And so I do have the skill set as far as gardening, growing, preserving, and you can see it over here too. They kind of go together. And I wanted to get back into that. As I entered the corporate world and became more and more busy, this just kind of fell off. And of course, I moved away from the farm, and that was caused by divorce. And I just had this period of my adult life where I was the busy executive. And now in my mid-50s, I'm really desiring to return to that place where it is, farm to table. I'm providing for my family by the way I preserve food, by the way I cook food, and trying to increase that in 2025. So these are my big goals for 2025. I do like to have them at the front of my binder because it's just an awareness piece. Every time I open this up, I'm reminding myself where I'm at. Just to give you a quick tour, I know I've already given an overview, but just a quick tour. I do have laid out the 2025 projects that I hope to complete in my kitchen, and so that's good. I have a project planner ready to go, my home projects, my garden projects, and again, behind each one, you'll see project planner. So as I start on things, and purchase them, I am keeping track of the costs of that, little action items I need to do to accomplish that thing. This was the Starlight Hollow irrigation plan, and we unfortunately had a big disaster this weekend with that. Our whole water system is really vulnerable here on the property because we don't have irrigation, so we're running everything with hoses to the point of where we want to irrigate. And yesterday that whole hose system broke. So that's probably going to be several $100s to get that up and running so I can do this irrigation project. Starlight Hollow is where we grow the most, the majority of our vegetables and fruits. And it is not irrigated, which means it has to be hand watered. And we live in Southern California. And in the summer it can get quite hot, which means it has to sometimes be watered twice a day. My mom lives on the property with us in a separate dwelling, and she probably does the lion's share of maintenance right now. She's amazing. I am keeping track of the budget for the house and garden, and so I'm writing down everything that I buy. So you can see that. March was all about the cupboards and trying to get all of the big storage jars up and running. Things like storage for flour and sugar and dried beans and all of that. Are you hanging in there? Okay, I know this is not riveting content, but just wanted to walk you through. I have my master chore list that I do like to keep track of, and these are days when I do it. Speaking of Mom loves to tidy up, and well, she's just the ultimate home tender. And sometimes when I have long days at work, she comes over into the house and helps me out. So, for example, you can see here the last time I've notated that the bathroom was cleaned. The master bathroom was the top of March, and that doesn't mean that. So a couple of things. This is a big cleaning for me, so I don't keep track of my little cleanings. A couple of times a week I do wipe down the bathroom, but it's not, I don't consider it a big clean. So this is a big clean. So that's the first thing you should know. I only keep track of big cleans. But the second thing is sometimes Mom comes in and does it, so I don't have to do it. She's very kind-hearted, giving woman and generous with her time, and yeah, I'm always very grateful for that. So these are the days where I've done the big clean, not where she did it or where I did a small clean. I have loved these. I made these in February, and I've absolutely loved it. It's a good reminder for me as to, hey, when do I need to take everything out of the bathroom and wipe everything down in a bigger, clean way. Really, really loving that. Same thing for the garden. I'm keeping track of when I'm watering, when I'm transplanting, sowing, doing all of that. And again, Mom really takes on the lion's share of this. She tends to the gardens every single day. Very, very grateful for that. I created a spring cleaning list. This is up on my Etsy shop. I printed it out on the wrong paper, but I didn't want to reprint it and waste ink. I do spring cleaning every year. It generally takes me a couple of months. And so these are all the spring clean items that I do. I'll probably start spring cleaning in April and do it April and May. So I'm geared up and ready to go for that. And those are the really deep cleanings. I have a calendar overview, and then I'm into my monthlies and weeklies. So here's my monthly calendar, what that looks like. And what do I like to keep track of in my home and garden? I like to keep track of some animal issues, animal care, you know, clipping of nails and things like that. I like to keep track of weather. And this is crazy, something about me. When I come home from work, I have to drive across a plateau, and because we live in a valley. And when I see tarantulas walking across the road on the plateau, I know that the season's about ready to change. They're a great indicator. Early in I think I have it on my early planning videos from last year, I was keeping track of how many tarantulas I could count. And you can see the count like go from like, okay, 2 were spotted on the road today. You can see it go from 2, I think my highest was something like 20 plus tarantulas. And that's their peak time of mating. So I know when I start to see the tarantulas, it's spring, and then I'll see the cycle of them, and then they will go away. I won't see them again. And then I'm going to start to see them traveling back the other direction in the fall. It's absolutely amazing. So when you see little tarantulas appearing on my monthly calendar, I've already spotted a couple. So yeah, I didn't document them though, but I know it's spring because the tarantulas are returning. So this is the monthly. And then this is what the weekly looks like. Actually, this is what the weekly looks like. This is this week. It's Sunday the 23rd today, and you can see my list of things that I've been working on. Today, my hubby has a retreat taking place at the sanctuary. Oh, sorry, just in case you're new here, you may not know, hubby and I are co-founders of a animal rescue sanctuary, and today we have a small retreat going. That's something hubby's doing with a community that he often gathers with. So again, Mom and I are heading out today to go help my kiddo pack. So we won't be here for that, but I've been helping him prepare for that. These are the pages that I make. I don't think I have a blank one here. No, I've already filled it in. I like to leave this front page blank, completely blank, because sometimes I do doodles over here, and then my weekly is filled out. This got wet. My whole book got wet yesterday, unfortunately, so that's why these pages look a little funny, and no way am I going to redo them. Anyway, so this has been this week, and you can see here where I just come in and mark things that I'm doing. I've been trying to keep track of the dishwasher. That's why you see that. It's not something I normally keep track of, but I was just really curious, how many times a week do we load and run the dishwasher? I've always done my dishes by hand. It's just when we built this house that I've been using the dishwasher. I don't know how economical it is, so that's why I've started to keep track of it. And again, these got all wet. I'll keep moving forward and try not to let it bother me too much. Normally this would really bother me. I've started to, oh gosh, I'm gonna get the hiccups. Anytime I drink coffee when I'm filming and then talking, I always get the hiccups. If you've seen my planner videos before, you know I always run washi tape on the bottom, always. And that's not because I like to decorate, but because I like the way it makes my pages lay. Well, normally this one's all wet, but I like the way it makes my pages lay. And so I always use washi tape, and washi tape is the one thing that I always struggle with, because it kind of, tells me what colors I'm going to use on the page. And I've not liked that process. I'm normally not good with stickers, washi tape, stuff like that. I've started playing around with making my own, because I always have like an idea of like what I would love to see, and I can never find it in the washi tape. And so I feel like the washi tape directs my creativity. So I really loved doing this, and I've set up all kinds of themes. This was an early one that I did, and I didn't yet know how to cut it out, because what I'm doing is I'm creating it in Canva, this whole like theme, and then I print it out on sticker paper, and then I cut them out. I do have a Cricut machine, but I have no idea how to use it. So anyway, I'm cutting them out. And I have loved that. Now I feel like, okay, I can envision a theme that I want, and I create it. So yes, that's working out nicely. But this week. I categorize it kitchen, garden, home, and miscellaneous. I have the days of the week laid out. In the beginning, I didn't like this. I'm more of a happy planner where it's, I guess, is that called a horizontal? And this is a vertical. Is that what they're called? That's kind of what I've used historically. So when I recreated these DIY binders, I am going horizontal in my daily, and then I went vertical in my home and garden. I'm getting used to it now. I think I've liked it more because I have these categories set up, and it's real easy for me to see. Okay, let me get another drink of coffee. So this is this past week, and as you can see, I have days where I don't do anything, and that's generally because it's been a really long work day. And one of the things I've been trying to do in my daily planning is try to be, and in fact, I have a tracker on it. My pattern is I wake up very early in the morning. I generally get in a couple of hours of planning, organizing my day, and then I start my work pretty early from home. And generally by 4 a.m., I'm working at work remotely. And what I mean by that is I organize my work day. I answer all of my emails that I can, at least. I get, well, I can tell you my work email box right now is probably about 3,000 emails. And I probably respond to 200 to 300 emails a day. A lot of those emails are just FYIs, things people want me to know about. And of course, many of them require responses from me. So I try to get a jump start on that for the day. So I spend the first couple of hours from home on my work day just tending to emails, organizing meetings for the day, tending to all my emails. And then I commute, so I drive to whatever office I'm heading to for that day. And then generally I'm in meetings all day long. And by the time I get home, I'm just cognitively burnt out. I'm not physically burnt out because I'm sitting at a desk all day long. But cognitively, I feel like my brain is just a noodle. And there's kind of like this emotional exhaustion. So one of the things I've really been trying to do is to, I don't know if that's a real or just a habit of, such intense work days. I allow myself when I get home to just crash. I've been trying to be more productive in the evening. It's so much easier now that it's later. And yeah, I'm feeling like I can get back in that groove of, and when I get home from work, my day isn't over. I've got more time to do things. Generally, my evenings are spent with helping hubby with animals. My husband pretty much runs the sanctuary. He's probably 85% of sanctuary. I'm probably 15% of sanctuary. And I do all of the nonprofits business. So my input to the sanctuary is keeping all of its records straight, all of its finance straight. Running a nonprofit is not an easy thing. You have to be very, very organized with your records. So I spend a lot of time with that. Whereas hubby is outside tending to the animals, building structures, doing all that. So it's a lot of physical work for him and a lot of office work for me. But this is the week. Yesterday, again, was a really busy day because of the retreat that hubby's having today. So I just did a lot of tending, a lot of baking. This morning, I'm baking some fresh bread. They will have at the retreat today 2 meals. So I made some flax and nut bread that can go with the lighter evening meal that they're going to have. Made some cookies, got everything cleaned up, so that's all ready to rock and roll. And then I've also set up my new week as to what I want to do. You can see here, first thing on the list is we're not going to have time today to even look at the damage, the extent of the damage of that broken water system. So, but I need to look into it. I don't know if now's the time. We live in agriculture remotely, and there's a lot of agriculture. So we have a lot of vineyards, a lot of orchards around us. And we have one main huge, it's absolutely huge, water source, and it's built for irrigation, massive irrigation. So we've had to do some kind of like systems to back off on the force of the water flow, and we constantly have issues with the breaking. So it feels like it's time to look into a DIY permanent system of PVC waterways. The irrigation system that I got for Starlight Hollow is not PVC based. It's just your small garden type of irrigation system, but it feels like we need a bigger system at source and then running into these different garden areas and of course the animals. I don't know. I feel like we do have someone that we could hire to do it. I feel like it's going to be so expensive. So I want to watch some videos to see how difficult it would be for us to do it on our own. So I'm going to start researching that. In the interim, I've got to buy some new, this is like heartbreaking because this is going to take time. And in the interim, I can't water that area. So I need to get a new hose and a new nozzle. What happens over time is because of the force of the water, that whole system will break down. So, or it kind of locks into itself. Right now, for example, the nozzle on the broken hose system, we can't get it off. It's like cemented on there. So I have to replace the whole system. That system, because we've had to replace it so many times, is going to cost about $150. So it's not horrible, but when you say, well, I'm going to spend $150 and then turn right around and, do something more permanent, then it is heartbreaking but I guess we can use it someplace else in the property. I need to wash my bed linens. Oh my gosh, I was hoping to be able to do that today, but it's going to happen tomorrow. Tomorrow is a no work day for me. In case you haven't watched my daily planning videos, my husband lost his mom, and tomorrow is her service. So I hope before we go that I'm able to wash the bed linens because I didn't get a chance to do that last weekend. And to my mind, I know a lot of people can go weeks without washing their linens, but for me, that's I like to wash them once a week, and I missed last weekend. So just some things there. This was my new spring spread that I did. My theme that I wanted to have was something just recognizing spring. So I made some washi tape for myself and a little spring thing, and then the washi tape, it's probably silly, I know, but I have been having so much fun. It really, I find great joy in thinking about, well, what will my theme be for the next week? So that really just, I think it helps me relax. It helps me feel creative, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's very inexpensive. It takes me just probably about, 30 minutes. I set up this theme in Canva and then printed it out. So the cost for me is my Canva membership, and then sticker paper. Yeah, so it's probably, 50 cents. So I love it. But yeah, that's where I am right now with my home and garden planner / binder. And I really look forward to getting into this. Spring and summer become my busy time. I tend to be more of a hibernating girl in the winter, and I don't do a lot, but spring and summer, you'll see this take off. A lot of my time will be spent here. Okay, well, thank you for getting through that with me, and if you watched all the way to the end, bless your heart. I am, as I said, going to have a day out of the house today, so I probably won't get a chance to do any more filming, which means hopefully tomorrow I'll do a check-in with my daily planner with y'all. Oh, and I, of course, need to do my cash stuffing. That is sitting on the side, ready to go, and I just need to find time to get that done. Okay, until the next time, may you be blessed.